You think she's just being friendly? You're missing the biggest psychological red flag that she's already imagining a life with you. Most guys are blind to this one tiny subconscious slip she makes, and once you spot it, you'll never look at her the same way again. Let's decode it. Have you ever caught her looking at you from across the room only for her to quickly look away the second your eyes meet, and you just know deep down that there's something way more going on beneath the surface than she's letting on? Most guys completely overlook these tiny, almost invisible behavioral shifts because they're too focused on big, cinematic gestures that rarely happen in your life. When a woman is secretly fantasizing about you, she starts leaking small cues through her body language, like lingering touches on your arm or the way she mirrors your movements during a conversation without even realizing she is doing it. These ain't just random coincidences. They're subconscious signals that her brain is already building a deeper emotional and physical connection with you, even if she is terrified to say it out loud. By paying close attention to these subtle patterns, you can start to decode exactly where you stand, giving you the confidence to escalate these naturally rather than guessing and risking an awful rejection. If this is starting to click for you, hit that like button and subscribe. It tells the algorithm you're ready to master your dating life, and it helps me keep bringing you these deep psychological insights. Let's dive deeper. One of the most powerful things you can look for is how she reacts when you talk about your future and your personal goals. Because a woman who's fantasizing about you will naturally try to position herself inside that vision. You'll notice that she starts asking questions that ain't just polite small talk. She's digging for details that help her map out who you are as a man, which shows that she is already mentally rehearsing what a life with you might look like in your daily interactions. Pay attention to the way she creates these little pockets of intimacy, like leaning in closer when she speaks or finding reasons to be in your physical space even when there's plenty of room elsewhere. This is her way of testing the waters to see how you respond to her proximity and if you can maintain calm, grounded energy instead of getting nervous or overly eager. You show her that you're the kind of guy who's worth the manual effort she is already putting into your dating her private, quiet moments. Have you ever noticed one of these signs in someone you're seeing but were too afraid to act on it? Tell me your story in the comments. I'm reading them all. Have you ever noticed her suddenly becoming the most supportive person in your circle, almost like she's your biggest is fun when no one else is watching, because that's a classic indicator that her mind has shifted from just a friend to a romantic partner. When she's secretly building a fantasy life around you, she's gonna remember the small, boring details that you mentioned in passing weeks ago, like your favorite childhood snack or that specific stress you mentioned about work, and she'll bring them up later to show you she cares. This ain't just being a good listener, it's a strategic move to show you that she pays attention to you in a way nobody else does, which makes you feel seen and valued. By acknowledging her for these things, you strengthen that bond, creating a positive feedback loop where she feels more comfortable letting into those fantasies, because she sees that you're actually picking up on the signals that she is dropping, which builds a massive attraction. The way she communicates on digital platforms often changes drastically when she's caught up in her own head about you, usually shifting into a style that feels much more personal and consistent than it was before. Watch for the timing of her messages and the tone she uses, because if she's secretly fantasizing about you, she's likely sending texts that keep the conversation going long after it should have naturally ended, or she's sharing random memes and thoughts that she specifically thinks you would find funny. She is essentially extending the digital tether between you two, because she wants to feel like she has access to your thoughts even when you're apart. If you start reciprocating this energy with just the right amount of mystery and playful engagement, you're basically fueling the fire of her imagination, making her think about you even more frequently throughout her busy day, which is exactly the kind of momentum you need to move the relationship into a more intimate space. Which of these signs do you think is the absolute biggest giveaway? Is that the eye contact, the texting, or something else? Drop your theory below. It's crucial to understand that her vulnerability is the strongest evidence of her secret thoughts, as she will often show you signs of her personality that she hides from the rest of the world. When she trusts you enough to drop her guard, share her insecurities, or laugh at your jokes even when they end that funny, she is creating a safe emotional sanctuary that acts as the foundation for her fantasies. She needs to know that you're a safe harbor, a man who can handle her emotions without judging her or rushing her. So she'll consistently test your reaction to see if you can handle the real her. If you react with empathy, strength, and a bit of light-hearted confidence, you prove that you're the man she's been picturing in her head, which will make her even more comfortable expressing those deeper feelings. This psychological safety is the secret ingredient that turns a passing crush into a full-blown obsession, and it's something you should nurture every single day. Finally, no notice how her physical appearance or grooming habits seem to shift whenever she knows she is gonna see you, as she is likely trying to present the best version of herself to align with the idealized image she's built in her mind. This might look like she is wearing your favorite color, playing with her hair more often, or even just looking at you with that specific soft gaze that lingers a second too long before she blushes and breaks contact. She is essentially performing for the audience of one, which is you. And that's a massive ego boost if you handle it with maturity and grace. Don't fall into the trap of being arrogant about it. Instead, use this as a green light to take the lead, make a move, or deepen the conversation in a way that validates her efforts by recognizing these signs and acting on them with subtle, deliberate confidence. You turn those silent, secret fantasies into a real-world connection that can grow into something truly significant and rewarding for both of you. Now that you know the signs, don't leave it to chance. Watch this next playlist to master the art of attraction, and you wanna see if she's feeling the same way. Send this video to a friend who needs to hear this. See you in the next one.